Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to explore one of the weirdest, most counterintuitive ideas out there, the hidden fear of success. It's the reason you might be, pumping the brakes on your own progress without even realizing it. And we're going to break down exactly why that happens.
Does this sound familiar to you? You map out the perfect business plan, the ideal workout routine, that life-changing project. You feel that incredible rush of motivation. And then, what happens? Tomorrow comes and it looks exactly like yesterday. Look, this isn't just you. This is a deeply human psychological pattern.
We've all been told that we put things off because we're afraid of failing, right? But what if that's only half the story? The hidden truth, the one we rarely want to admit, is that for a lot of us, the real terror isn't falling short. It's what happens if we actually achieve everything we've been dreaming about. So, first up, the planning action gap. Let's look at this brilliant and kind of sneaky trick your brain plays on you, turning the simple act of planning into its own form of procrastination.
Psychologists actually have a name for this super frustrating thing, the intention-action gap. You can think of it like this giant canyon that exists between the person you are in your daydreams and the person who actually has to do the work. And the wider that gap gets, the more stuck you feel.
So how does this actually work in your brain? Well, when you just think about hitting that big goal, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. You get a tiny taste of the reward, which makes you feel proud and satisfied, almost like you'd already done something. That small feeling is often just enough to replace the need to take any real action. And here's where it gets really wild. Your brain literally treats your future self like a completely different person, some kind of superhero who's going to have endless energy and motivation tomorrow. It's a perfect loophole, right? It lets you commit to anything because in your mind, somebody else is going to handle the hard part. Okay, let's move to the second and honestly maybe the most powerful reason we fear success. It's not about the tasks themselves, it's about who you believe you are at your core. This is so crucial. You can try to change your habits all you want, but if your underlying identity doesn't shift, you will always snap back to your old ways. Your brain's primary job is to keep you consistent with the person you already believe yourself to be. Think about it this way. If you've spent years seeing yourself as the struggler or the underdog, that identity feels familiar. It's predictable. It feels safe. The identity of success, on the other hand, is completely unknown territory. It comes with new demands, new expectations, and to your nervous system, that unknown feels dangerous. So what do? You subconsciously sabotage your own progress just to stay in the comfort of what you already know.
Now let's talk about the third saboteur, which is tricky because it often masquerades as a positive trait, perfectionism. This isn't about being lazy, not at all. It's about having standards that are so high, they completely paralyze you.
This is a really important distinction. For so many ambitious people, the resistance isn't toward the effort itself. You're willing to work hard. The resistance is toward effort that might lead to a flawed or imperfect result. You're trying to protect yourself from the disappointment of not meeting your own impossible standards.
Your brain is constantly running a little cost-benefit analysis. It's asking, is the energy I'm about to spend really worth the potential outcome? And because your standards are sky high, starting anything feels incredibly risky. Unless the timing is perfect, you have all the answers, and you're guaranteed a flawless win. So waiting feels so much safer to your ego than trying and achieving a success that's merely good enough.
And that brings us to our final point, which is where all these other ideas really come together. At its core, the fear of success is just a very sophisticated form of anxiety. Let this one really sink in for a second. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It's a coping mechanism. It's your brain's way of protecting you from emotions you don't want to feel. You're not avoiding the work, you're avoiding the discomfort that's associated with the work, and with the success that might follow. Because what does success actually bring? It brings a whole new set of pressures. It brings new responsibilities you might not feel ready for. It brings higher expectations from yourself and from others. It can even bring a level of happiness that feels so unfamiliar it's actually uncomfortable. Your brain is just trying to keep you away from all of that emotional messiness.
So, if we know these are the traps our minds set for us, how in the world do we start to escape? Well, it begins with a simple, but really profound, shift in mindset. We tell ourselves we need to figure everything out first. We need the perfect plan, that perfect moment, that perfect feeling of being ready.
But the truth is, clarity doesn't come from thinking.
It comes from doing. You discover the path by taking the first step, not by staring at the map.
Because action is the cure. It is the only thing that builds the bridge from your dreams to your reality. It will never, ever be the other way around.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. That phrase, one day, it feels so hopeful, but it's actually a tranquilizer. It's a mental trick to keep you comfortable, to keep you safe, and to keep you from ever having to face the beautiful, terrifying, and totally unknown reality of your own success. The real question is, are you ready to wake up?